Hey there everyone, this is Daniel West for Hero Arts. Today we're going to create some name tags using the Ornament Fancy dies from Hero Arts. It's that time of year when you've got to be thinking about how to package up your presents and how to get the names on them. And I think this is a really fun idea to add some sparkle and some glamour to your packaging game this year. The ornament dies come in 4 different words: love, wish, cheer, and joy. And here's one of the ornament tags I've already created using the love die stacked up over some blue seas or sparkling sea embossing powder. This is what the dies look like, separated from their extra little pieces. The joy and the love and the wish words and the cheer word is also connected to an outer circle. Here I am fumbling with them, but they're so much fun because they're all one piece and you just run them right through your die cutting machine, and in just seconds you have a wonderful little centerpiece or embellishment to add to the front of a circle tag. So I'm going to show you how I created those circle tags and how I put them all together using one of the infinity circle dies from the whole set. I just pulled it out of the center of my infinity dies here. It's probably the 7th one in or out, one of the middle ones. And it fits perfectly around the outside of the ornament dies. I created many of these extra little tags using my circle die, and then you can see the little extras attached to each one of these ornament fancy dies here. Each one has some kind of ornament holder at the top and embellishment. This one in particular is my favorite, with a little bow on top, and we'll use that bow several times today. I've already die cut the bow and the ornament topper out of some Cranberry cardstock, and we'll use these at the end to add to the tops of each of our name tags. I'm going to use several different embossing powders today. I brought out the most festive parts of my Hero Arts embossing powder collection today. I have the Sparkling Seas, which I love for winter time, not just for ocean themed cards. But look how beautiful this blue is with the red and white. I think it is just a perfect holiday color combination. I also have the red embossing powder. I'm not going to use it today, but I think it would be a great selection for your ornament name tags. Here's the gold glitter and the sparkle, which is just a clear kind of glitter embossing powder with an iridescent look to it. And then I have this green gold embossing powder that was part of the November 2018 My Monthly Hero card kit. It's no longer available, but just wanted to bring it out because it's so important to subscribe to the My Monthly Hero card kit, and you never miss out on these extra little things that may or may not make it into the store later. So I just take a piece of Dove cardstock here. It's nice and thick, and I scored at 3 1/8 inches all the way down the length of the cardstock, then fold it over, and I'm able to get 3 ornament tags out of this one piece of cardstock. So I taped that down, die cut it, and then heat up the tape just a little bit to get it to peel off without any problems. And now you can see how this name tag is formed with a connecting piece at the top. You just die cut that with that little space left at the top, and you'll still have it connected. Now, I'm showing you here that this die can be moved twice more, and then you can get 2 more tags out of one sheet of Dove 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Now I'm going to actually go direct to paper with my embossing and watermark clear ink from Hero Arts. Just taking the front half of my name tag and pressing it into my clear ink pad. Make sure you get it nice and inked up. Lots of good, not sticky ink, but kind of sticky clear ink onto the front of that name tag, and then pour your embossing powder of choice over the front of it. Here I'm going with gold glitter. And this gold glitter has not just the gold embossing powder, but some really sparkly tinsel-like glitter in it. And then flick it once. And if you don't get the solid look that you want the first time, you can actually melt this once, let it cool for a few seconds, and then repeat the process so that you get the solid look that you're wanting. I'm going through this one time slowly so we can all enjoy the wonder of melted embossing powder, which is always fun and engrossing. But then on the others, I'm going to speed them up about 300% so that we're not bored to tears looking at embossing powder for the rest of the video. So you can see that I have some parts of my tag that are not completely covered with embossing powder. So once it's cooled down and it's not tacky anymore, I'm just going to repeat the process, dipping this again into my clear ink from Hero Arts and covering it again with the gold embossing powder, gold sparkle embossing powder. The second time around is even better than the first time because the embossing powder becomes kind of gooey, liquidy on top of it, and it moves around a bit. So maybe I'm just strange, but I just absolutely love melting embossing powder and watching how it reacts to the air and the heat. It's so much fun. This is what will get any new person into stamping totally addicted from the start. So if you're new to stamping and you haven't gotten into embossing powder yet, you will be hooked once you try it. So here I have the name tag completely solidly covered with gold sparkle embossing powder, and I'm going to use just one of the die cuts here. I'm not going to stack them. These are just name tags, so I mean, if you want to make them super thick, you can, like I did with the love on the blue and white name tag. I stacked it 4 times, but I think that this does the job as well. Here I have the sparkle embossing powder, and I covered the name tag with it, and then I'm going to take the actual die cut piece and press it into my clear embossing ink and cover this one with the silver glitter embossing powder. This is more like tinsel from a Christmas tree, and I'm going to melt this just one time. It gave me really great coverage the first time using the wish die, and I'm going to repeat this process. This time I wanted to flatten out my name tag a little better, so I grabbed a really heavy acrylic block and put it right on top of the entire little project. Put it aside for a few minutes while I melted some green gold embossing powder twice, and look the result at that. If you don't have that embossing powder, you can actually find another color and mix it with some gold, and it works just as fine. Just as well. And here I'm putting it under my acrylic block again. It helps to flatten out the project. This is the black sparkle embossing powder, and I'm just covering the die cut twice with it and melting it till it's nice and kind of runny and smooth. And I'm going to put that just straight on top of a white plain name tag. So much fun. I think each one of these, maybe you just want to pick one of them and it'll be your name tag design for the year, or have a couple of them if you like. You can tie a string around the top if you want to hang it from a tree, or you can just use some double-sided tape on the back to adhere it to your gifts. Here I've added the little bow or ornament topper to each of these, and here are 5 precious little name tags that are super fun and pretty quick to do. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and give these ornament fancy dies a try. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you're not subscribed to the Hero Arts YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that button. Also, I have a blog post over at Hero Arts blog to accompany this video. Have a great day.